What's up, guys? It's Mike for Sim Racing 604. Welcome back to the showroom once again in Assetto Corsa, and introducing for the first time the Bayro 6 from Race Sim Studio. This is Race Sim Studio's first go at creating a GT3 car. We previously had a lot of Formula cars and GT1 cars from Race Sim Studio, but the modding team has now taken on the project of making, in their words, the most detailed sim racing car ever, and they've chosen the GT3 format for that. So they've taken on the BMW M6 GT3 as their first project, and I have no doubts that if this one is successful, they'll go on to make more GT3 cars. The reason they say this is the most detailed car ever made for sim racing is because of a lot of things that will be quite evident when we get on board. The physics of how this handles, the sounds are incredible, and they've gone to some amazing visual details as well. The exhaust will light up. The camera that we use for onboard footage actually has a GoPro in the position of the camera, so just incredible levels of detail. So best appreciated on track, so let's go ahead and do that. This one is available if you like it for €4 currently through racesimstudio.com. I will drop a link in the description. Other than that, let's go ahead and run some laps at Spa. Okay, so here we are, about ready to go at Spa for our test laps. Make sure you stick around at the end of this to listen to a full volume replay. The car just sounds outstanding. Hopefully you guys can hear a little bit of that through this video, and then you'll hear it again at full volume at the end. So I'm just very impressed. I'm about 20 laps in now with this car. Not in this particular session, but previous sessions, and just so impressed, because the bar for me obviously is Assetto Corsa Competizione. I love that sim, and especially for GT3, it just to me defines how a GT3 should feel in sim racing. And perhaps that's wrong depending on your experience level. Maybe you're an iRacing guy, but I think for me, that's the most complete GT3 sim, so I compare everything to that. I gotta say, this Race Sim Studio Bayro 6 stands up very nicely against Assetto Corsa Competizione. That's the reason I'm running Spa here, is because I've run so many laps of it in ACC that I've got a good feel for how the car behaves at certain points of the track, under braking, acceleration, high-speed cornering, low-speed cornering, etc. And this is right there. And for reference, I went back and started driving a Kunos GT3 car from AC1, and yeah, I think this is actually closer. Not to say one is better than the other. You could certainly make the argument that since we have so many of them from AC1, that should be the standard. Or you just might like the feel of the Kunos cars from AC1. But for me, I was hoping they would get to at or near ACC level, and I think they've done that. I think Race Sim Studio really crushed that. But that comes with its own sort of issue that I have to bring up. Oops, too much braking. Hoping for a 2:20 here, but it's going to be over. Got about a second to make up on this lap. So the issue it brings up for me is I don't know who to recommend this car to. So looks great, sounds great, drives great, checks all the boxes. You know, probably my new favorite GT3 car in Assetto Corsa. But for €4 for one car, it's hard for me to say who should rush out and buy this, because I think if you were such a fan of GT3 cars in Assetto Corsa 1, my advice would be, if you can, upgrade to Assetto Corsa Competizione. I think everything the GT3 cars do in AC1, they do better in ACC. But, so it kind of puts this car in an interesting space. Now, if this were part of a pack, if they brought a bunch of 2019 cars to Assetto Corsa 1, with these physics, I mean, it would be mind-blowing. It would be an instant recommendation. But for a one-off for €4, I mean, we just saw ACC during a Steam sale for what, €25? Let's call it €30. So basically, for 7 or 8 times the price, you can get 20 times as many cars, and a whole bunch of tracks and everything else, the physics and whatnot that comes with ACC. And so it's hard for me to say who this car is for. Not to say it's a bad car. Again, it checks boxes across the board, being really fantastic. But who would I recommend buy this? It's hard for me to say, and I don't mean that as a slight, again, to RaceSim Studio. I think everything they set out to do, they have done, and the level of detail is incredible. But yeah, just kind of hard to see where it fits into the sim racing world. The obvious advantage being we now have something that probably feels closer to ACC, and we can run it at any track we want. We're not limited by the ACC track lineup. Assuming that track lineup is not enough for you. Are you kidding me? Exact same. All right. I'm talking, so I'm going slow. All right. This will be the last lap here. I want to see if I can make up some time. Get under that 220 mark. Doesn't look like it. Excuse me. Doesn't look like it. Unless I totally cut Radion. But again, nothing I say about, you know, I don't know who to recommend this to makes this car any worse. The car is phenomenal. And those sounds are just haunting. Even by RaceSim Studio standards, I'd say that's a great sounding car. And there's a few features of this car that you will need Content Manager and the custom shaders patch to enable. So make sure you have those up and running. This lap was going so great, and now I can't even make a simple corner. There we go. All right, come on, Mike. Keep it together. Get this across the line, and we'll be under that 220 mark. Should be good. There we go, 219.5. So, brilliant car. I'm going to steer wide of who should buy it. You already heard my thoughts on that, but very nice. Looks great, sounds great, what a car. A lot of fun to drive here in Assetto Corsa. Thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy this replay, and we'll see you next time.